So yesterday was pretty nice. I don't know how many of you guys actually follow my trades, but we well, I pretty much outlined somewhat of an idea of what would happen in the market, right? This is the Elliott waves. I explained that briefly yesterday in the live trading session we had. But I expected the SPY to gap down today or continue downwards, but we apparently gapped up to 386 from 382. So we'll see how that goes. When we open, we'll probably be near this top trend line. You guys can see over here. And unless we see actual bullish movement into the upside, I'm probably going to be bearish for the rest of the day. So we'll see how that goes. Today, I'm especially not going to be over trading as much. Yesterday, I traded a lot. Usually after big momentums, there's usually cool offs, right? There's a lot of, sideways trading. So I'm going to be a little passive this meeting for sure. But yeah, market's about to open in a minute or so. Someone asked, do gaps always fill? And the answer is they tend to fill over a small period of time. SPY before it got choppy, right? Like the past like a year or two before, it used to fill gaps within a day or two. Most is a week, right? But sometimes now we're getting it where we're just sideways trading for the longest time. But right now I'm pulling up my option chain. Let's see. If we were to get into puts, I'll probably be looking for the 385 puts, right? Gonna be pulling that up right now. Let me also pull up Discord so I can alert on there since some people can't make the stream. Let's see. Maybe what I should do is just bring Discord over here so you guys can see it. So you could see what contract I'm looking at as well. But if there's any issues, just feel free to tell me. All right. Yeah, let's see. 385 put for July 20th, of course. We're not going for further expiration. Oops. Oh. All right. So let's sit over here. Hold on 1 second. So we're looking at the SPY 385 put for July 20th, right? Just tomorrow. Gonna have that pre-typed so we could have a good entry, or at least alert a good entry. But what we're trying to see here is, sorry if you hear my dog in the background, but we're trying to see how the first, bit of time reacts for SPY and so on. This is the 3 minute, this is the 1 hour. But right here, in a little bit, I think I'm going to try entering SPY puts, and we're going to have just a tight stop loss. So even if it is a loss, I'm going to at least be stopped out, right? But let's see here. I should generally try waiting for, there's a 3 minute chart on the left side. So I think what I'm going to do is wait to see how this candle closes right here. Or never mind. So I'm going to be trying to get into the contracts at 210. That's my entry price. And I got filled for 207. So again, this is the SPY 385 puts. I entered at 207. And you know how I set my trims. Usually the first trim is 10%. I'll give you a second. Let me, well, that's an ugly candle for sure. Honestly, we'll have, I personally have my stop loss above the high of day. So right here. So SPY reaches above 385, 386, my bad, 386.35. I'll probably be looking to exit. This is of course higher risk since we tried entering in the morning, first few minutes itself. So yeah. AMC is going crazy. Oh shit. Excuse my language. So we'll see here how this how SPY reacts here. It's probably gonna look like I'm gonna be personally stopped out. But you know what they say, always trade without emotion. So if I lose, I lose. On to the next better setup, right? Usually if I lose with SPY, I try looking at another ticker to see if there's any other possibilities. So instead AMC is going crazy. We'll have to still check that out. I haven't traded AMC, I think, in a week or so. So we'll see. But if we do break, right? If we do break below, we could see a decent movement to the downside. Like there's a huge gap, as you guys can see. I don't think I need to really plot it out, but I'll plot it out regardless. Right here, right? Uh, this gray rectangle right over here. So I'm not saying we're gonna fully fill the gap, but it's not surprising if we do. Now, if anyone knows the Elliott waves, this could probably be the end of wave 3, right? And this is probably uh, the end of wave 4. If that's the end of wave 4, then we got a long downtrend coming, which is nice. Because we're respecting the rule here. I'll make a video on this, by the way, so in case it's confusing. But one of the rules is for the end of wave 4, we can't surpass wave 1, and we're definitely not, right? So if we reject into the downside here, or if we at least stay below the end of wave 1, we can consider it the impulse Elliott wave, and we could see it trend to the downside. Yeah. Looks so ugly on the 1 hour. Oh, but does anyone have any questions? You can feel free to ask me in the chat. I don't mind answering. I'm gonna have a few videos done soon, recorded and posted on YouTube. We're just keeping an eye on SPY here. It's somewhat reaching the top of the excuse my dog. But it's reaching the high of day, so we're seeing how it reacts here. Again, my entry is 207, so this is not a huge loss personally as of yet. But let's just keep an eye. All right, I'm gonna just send an alert. Look at a few other tickers. By the way, you guys can tell me to look at a few tickers if you had a few tickers in mind. I don't mind looking. Oh geez, look at Babo. Babo filled its gap. All right, so SPY breached high of day. This means that I most likely will probably exit, right? Just seeing how it reacts over here, but typing it out just in case I do exit for a loss. Here, I'm gonna exit here at 179. That's what I got my fill at. It's unfortunately is a loss, but on to the next one, right? All right. So if you guys exit, so just checking when you say high of day, do you mean the high of day today? Like as of, yeah, the high of day previously was like around 386.35. So usually if SPY breaks above that or any stock breaks above the high of day, or if this breaks down, I'm gonna kill SPY for real. But yeah, let's see. Sorry, my grandmother was talking to me. Um, if we see a break below here, I'm gonna be sad, but anyway, usually if stocks break above and hold, right, the high of day, then usually that's bullish, right? And if the vice versa, if it breaks below the low of day, oh, this is gonna be sad if this breaks below. All right, if it does break below, then we'll probably look for another entry. No need to, no need for me to whine about it. But let's see. How do you choose 207 as an entry point? Well, when I looked at the spread and when I tried entering, it was like the spread was between like 199 and like 210. So I got a fill at 207. I got a few fills for a little cheaper and a few fills for a little bit more expensive, but that was my average basically. Look at Boeing. Boeing is probably going to be bullish today. We might actually try to get into calls if it persists to show continued good movement. ARC I don't really trade much of. I don't like the movement as much. We'll look at BA here. Let's see. I'm not gonna enter that. Never mind. We're too late. Let's see. Moving on. We'll check out Meta. Actually, you know what? We'll check out ARC because why not? Oh, geez. Talk about ugly. All right. Oh, didn't Netflix have earnings or something? All right. So SPY is breaching, and I'm gonna be pissed off because it did freaking go the way that I expected it to go. So let's see. This time, let's try waiting for a safer entry. Right. No, it's a huge bearish kind of sign usually right there. Usually when a candle gaps down or gaps up from the previous close, that means the momentum was strong in that direction. So right now, I'm looking again at the 385 put, right, for SPY. I'll say if I enter again. Oh my goodness. I told you guys, usually after a day of such huge movement, there's always choppiness, unfortunately. But you know what, let me just type it out just in case we do get the momentum we want. Looks like we're starting to. All right, I'm gonna try getting filled here at 212. I couldn't get filled. I'm gonna getting filled at 219, and I got filled at 217. You know, just to be safe, my first trim I'm gonna put at 229. if Netflix has earnings today itself, I don't know if I'll necessarily trade it. Unless we get direction to a downside, right? Everyone thinks Netflix is gonna have bad earnings. I personally think they're gonna surprise us a little bit with it, to be honest. In my personal opinion, but I do not trade earnings. I don't like earnings. It's such magnified risk for no reason. Rather, I like having control over things, and day trading somewhat gives you control versus like swing trading, right? Especially for earnings, because right. Just gonna set a random alert over here. We'll let spy play out. Uh, let's go to Netflix. So yeah, a lot of people think Netflix is gonna just have bad earnings. So I expect Netflix to be bearish today. Let me see how much Netflix cons are. While we wait for spy to move. Oh heck no. I'm personally not trading that. But watch it be bearish for almost rest of the day. I wouldn't be surprised. Usually on earnings, right? You could see here. Let's go to 15-minute. Before earnings, what usually happens is there's a run up, right? That's the only thing I would trade when it comes to earnings, the run up. And there's usually a cool off. Or the other pattern would be there's just a straight up run up towards earnings. And then there's choppiness in the last like 2 hours of the before close. But yeah. All right. SPY is finally moving our way somewhat. My first trim is at 229. It's relatively small, but rather get some risk out of the position, right? So we'll see how it goes here. Also, tell me if you guys hear the wind too much in my mic. If so, I'll do something about it. Do you guys hear the wind in my mic too much? Barely? Okay. All right. As long as it's not a discomfort for any of you. If it is loud, just tell me. I'll fix some settings on my mic. All right. The high of the option reached 227. Didn't reach 229, unfortunately, but I'm kind of confident it will within a few minutes or a minute or seconds. All right. Come on. Current spy contract so annoying. You know what? I mean, all this waits. I gotta actually. Whoops. How do I move this? Okay. I gotta do something really quickly. Don't mind this. This is just for my bot. Yes, sir. I don't know if you guys saw, but I had so many issues with my bot because I freaking. If any of you guys know coding, I forgot the second freaking bracket. Uh, Whatever. Let us do it another day. I shall do it another day. Do I run my own Discord? Yes, but in respect to the servers that you come from, I don't provide the invites to it. I hope you guys can understand. Not gonna steal members from people who pay me, you know? There's always due diligence. Do I wait for confirmation? Yes, I'm a huge advocate on waiting for confirmation. Um, Usually in less choppy markets, the best time frame, in my opinion, to wait for confirmation is the 15-minute chart. right? But yeah, of course, my dog is going berserk with this toy. Give me a second. Let me it's so noisy. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, Spy is acting up a little weird. We see stocks like Baba and a few others breaking down. Um, but yeah, Spy doesn't want to exactly follow right now, but we see what happens. I'm pretty bearish on Spy. Uh, I talked to a few friends who trade with me. I'm not bullish until we actually show continued bullish momentum into the upside within the first hour. So, uh, oh my gosh, give me a second. Let me take care of my dog. Now I remember why I didn't like trading SPY so much last month. In your opinion, when do you think we'll see SPY at all-time high again? Probably like a month or two, even more. We can't just recover that quickly, to be honest with you. Um, Here, let me show you on my big chart. You guys can't hear my dog too much, right? It's going crazy with his toy. As long as it's not a nuisance, then I'll just let him be. But you could see here, right? All-time high was way back. Right over here, right? 475 something. And look how far we've come. Do I see a possibility for us coming back up here? Absolutely. The market will always you know, the market will always retrace back, right? It's just unfortunate cool off phase or whatever you want to call it. It was bound to happen. If you look at the daily, right? This growth was just too quick. It happened too quick. It happened way too powerfully, right? This should have, compared to how slowly SPY moved or how SPY grew over the course of, all this time, and you're saying all of a sudden we had this huge movement in a span of less than 2 years or 2 years. It's unusual, and this was bound to happen, uh, right? That's how market runs, right? So, do I personally think within 2022? Yeah, I think we could in 2022 personally. But I can't really predict it, can I? I really can't, unfortunately. I wish I could, but if I were to give a guess, the fact that it was first of all, I don't know if you guys remembered, but when SPY broke below 400, I was so surprised. I was like, no way, SPY's below 400. Now I'm not even surprised if it breaks below 360, 370. If it breaks below, I'm like, you know, it's SPY being SPY. But I could say that I would personally be bullish on SPY, even though it's a far number, but this is what I personally think. Until SPY breaks above 462, I am nowhere uh bullish on SPY. For when I mean bullish on SPY, I mean like over the course of like a weeks or like months, right? Then I would be bullish on SPY. Then I'd be like, okay, we're back into an uptrending market, right? Like right here, right? We could see we had a cool off. But if we have like let's say for example, SPY started reversing into the upside until we break above 462, then I'll be like, okay, we're in an uptrend now. But right now, we're in a downtrend. Is there a end? Of course, there's always going to be end. But you could see we've had some support right here. So see, hopefully we don't break it. You guys know I trade puts a lot. I make my money off of puts, but even I'm smart to know that puts aren't always a market being bearish is not always the greatest thing. It brings a lot of suffering to many people that have jobs and stuff like that, because obviously the market shows the health of our economy. And then on top of that, right, it actually gets harder to trade options and to trade when the market becomes super bearish. Uh, but yeah, everyone thinks that, oh, you can keep on buying puts when the market is bearish. Yeah, you can, but after a while, if you actually keep an eye on it, it gets pretty pretty hard because the way the market works is a person trades with a person. You're not trading with a broker, right? Or you're not trading with a market, you're trading with another person. So that means that in order for you to buy a contract, someone needs to be selling a contract. And if someone wants to be selling a put, that means that they need to be bullish on the stock. Because if you were to sell a put, that means you're bullish. And if you were to sell a call, that means you're bearish. So obviously, if the market's in a downtrend, people are not going to be writing up contracts, which means they're not going to be selling puts. And then the liquidity of puts are just going to be not there. And then there you go. There's a fully market breakdown, just bearish market. So God forbid we ever reach there. I don't think we will. Yeah. AMD calls. I'll check that out. I haven't traded AMD in a while. Spies being annoying. Um, but yeah, AMD is pretty bullish. You can see the long wicks to the downside on the 15-minute. So yeah, you know what? We'll have an alert just for the live session. Let's see. Search up AMD because it gets mentally exhausting to actually type out alerts because you have to deal with members and people who ask questions that you actually aren't legally allowed to answer, and they're like, can't really answer that, homie. Oh my goodness, don't tell me Spy actually breached your stop. So this is what you call reasons to quit the market. Annoying. Very annoying. This is our second straight loss in a row in a day. That's pretty rare for me, so yeah.
Bishop, you have a stop for SPY?
Yeah, just seeing how the movement goes. I don't have an option stop loss, as most of you guys know. I don't do option stop losses, but if I were to do a stop, I'd probably say the high of day again, a little bit above the high of day to see how it reacts with the high of day, right? To see if we have another breakdown after we touch it. If we do have another breakdown, if we do have another breakdown around this range right here, right? That would be considered double top, and then we'd be fully bearish on SPY. So that's why I'm a little bit lenient on what SPY is doing right now. But of course, always trade according to your risk tolerance. That's always important. But yeah, we missed out on the calls for AMD. But as you could see, we had a double bottom, right? We had a double bottom. That's bullish on stocks. All right, SPY's reaching high of day. I'm personally going to be looking over here for to see what I'm going to do with my contracts. Right now, the contracts are at 187. Did the chip subsib? I have no idea what that is. I don't know what chip subsidy passes. Okay, let's see right here. Fletch asked a question. I'll answer that after, because obviously the option handling is more important. Oh, all right, we're gonna get out of spike. What's here? 177. Annoying as heck. That's 2 straight losses in a row. That is insanely rare for me. And very upsetting. So, what I'm personally going to do, just watch the market until we can find a better opportunity, because that's just aggravating beyond words. All right. So, Fletch asked, would you take us through the SPY trade yesterday and how you handled a 50% drawdown when you cut and when you hang on? Perhaps how you scale out on the percentage Yeah, absolutely. So basically, this red zone over here is a supply zone, right? So I'll say why I entered, and then I'll talk about why I held and stuff like that. So basically, this red zone is a supply zone, and you could see here on the 1 hour chart, right? I had this upper trend line, and you could see that SPY rejected it, creating these tops over here. So I got into puts after we exited the supply zone. I scaled out on most of them when we reached over here, right? Then we retraced back, and then I exited actually for the first put, and then sorry, I can't get out myself over the freaking fact that I lost 2 trades in a row or whatever. Then we retraced back into the supply zone, and you could see here that I don't remember if I entered over here or here. I don't know which rejection I entered off of, but wait, did I enter here? No, no, I'm so stupid. After we reached over here, we traced into this supply zone, right, and it rejected again. So I entered puts, and obviously you could see like anytime we had bullish volume, it was not really that strong compared to the bearish volume. You could see the spikes in bearish volume versus the bullish volume. So I was overall bearish, right? So I was already bearish at the fact that we're rejecting the upper trend line. And then on top of that, we kept on rejecting, right? You could see I was holding my contracts till we reached over here. And around here, I believe it was like these were the 387 puts, and then 385 puts were more than 50% drawdown. They were heavy losses, but I still kept on holding because I was still bearish. Is that good risk tolerance? Good risk management? No, in beginners regards, right? If you're a beginner, you should not be doing that unless you have experience in the market, then you know what you're doing, right? I've had 9 years, so I know what I'm doing. So I held it, right? Because I knew there was bearish sentiment, and you could see every single time we had such hesitation across the around the supply zone. So I held, and you could see we started trading to the downside. I also predicted for yesterday, right? The SPY was going to follow the Elliott impulse wave because you could see that we started to create wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 was inbound clearly. And for those who knows the Elliott wave, the third wave is the most profitable wave. So that's why I still held on to my puts, right? The only reason I was gonna exit the puts is if wave 2 basically, right? If it drew back all the way above the start of wave 1, that's when I would have exited, but it did not. So I held on. Yeah, that's how I held on to my contracts. Now the way I scale out is it's so aggravating. I just realized my second contract, it reached 227, but my freaking sell order was at 229. Oh, that's sad. But anyway, um, so what was I saying? The way I scale out is the first trim that I do, I scale out of 60% or more of my position. That's a lot, but think about it. Now, most of my position is in the green, and now even if the rest of the position goes to break even or red, I it's pretty safe, right? So yeah, so that's how I scale out. I scale out 60% or more of my position, and then after that, I scale out just however I want to scale out, and depending on how long I think um you know the momentum will go on for. So yesterday, right after I think the first one I scaled out around like 60 or 65%. I don't remember the exact number. Roughly around that. And then the next trims I scale out only like 1 or 2%. Max I did 5% because I knew it was gonna just keep on drawing down. And I got rid of most of my contracts like right over here and right over here. I exited my rest of contracts like near the end of the day, of course, since I wasn't gonna swing the 0 DTE expirations. But yeah, that's my thought process behind it. Hopefully that helps. Um, so you're bearish because we gapped up into resistance, right? Yeah, we gapped up, and following yesterday's momentum, I was still bearish, and I'm bearish. I said I was bearish until SPY started showing bullish momentum into the upside. Now we're starting to show it. I am probably bullish until SPY reaches this upper trend line. I'm debating if I should enter calls, but after the freaking 2 losses we've had, I think I'll just ease myself on the trigger there. So there's a vote today. Nancy Pelosi's husband bought 5 million Nvidia since there's a $52 billion chip thing being voted on today. Don't know if it's been voted on yet. Yeah, I obviously don't know since I didn't even know that was happening. I don't look at news. Look at INTC. I'll look at it. Okay. I'll click on this link in just a second. It happens. Yeah, I know it happens, unfortunately. That's the way the market works. It's just I pride myself on not taking 2 losses, that's for sure. Usually I take 1. Oof. If anyone watched my support and resistance, usually if there's a huge momentum into a resistance, it's usually followed by a reversal into the downside. Judging by the fact this is a 3-minute and we just hit a small resistance, it's probably going to be a small retrace. So is this the Elliott wave? Yes, this is the Elliott wave, and I'll definitely make a video on the Elliott wave. Do I really recommend there's some good Elliott wave videos out there, but they kind of divert from the fact of what you should be learning and they make it so complicated. I remember I watched this one video and they were like, "Oh, Elliott wave is not valid in the market of today," and that's so BS. It's definitely valid, so I'll make a video on it. Sometimes people they don't know how to use things and they have strong opinions. Don't ever do that. Don't ever have strong opinions about something you don't know. Shop might be good for puts. Let's check it out. Let's check out INTC since someone asked that first. So basically most of we have a few tickers going into the upside. So we could actually get into calls over here for INTC because if you're looking to trend right, this would be the start of wave 3 if this is an impulse wave, right? So let's actually look at INTC calls right here, right? Let's see. Since I have to accept the fact that it seems that we're going to be bullish today, let's check out INTC. Why I can't speak for the life of me. All right, we're 39.59. So since I almost said chalk, but since the stock is kind of somewhat hesitant, let's check out unusual whales. Let's see. Let's see what the flow has to say. So why not have some more confirmation, right? Let's see. Definitely don't care about small orders. Sorry if you guys hear me muttering. I'm a person who mutters a lot, that's for sure. I could imagine if that's annoying. Okay, so nothing that interesting on the flow. Let's see, let's go back to the chart. So if we start seeing bullish momentum into the upside, I don't think I'm gonna get 40, 50 calls because there's a less chance we'll get into the money. If we see continued, if we see bullish confirmation, then I'll probably get to 40 calls. Let's see. So right now, it's trading around the 61.8. This is the Fibonacci for those who don't know. We'll be watching it to see how it continues, but let me at least put out an alert to say that I'm looking at INTC, the 40 calls for, of course, this week's expiration, which is the 22nd, right? This time we're going to wait a little bit more for confirmation, not freaking repeat the mistake of what happened last time, because I am in no mood to do that again. I don't think I've ever had 3 losses straight in a long time. Of course, that means nothing if I don't put my own due diligence into my trades, right? So, all right. So we're starting to get the momentum we like. Let's see. I'm just pulling up the option pricing. All right. So what would I need to enter Okay, so we're breaking above the 38th percentile, right? And probably this is going to be a good spot to enter. I'm going to be entering in at 42. Got filled at 43. Oh well. All right. So, setting my trims. First trim is going to be at 47. That's going to be around 10% profit, right? Jeez. All right. So first trim is going to be at 47. Next trim I'm going to have personally at 52. And the next trim I'm going to have at 59, just a little farther out, just in case we have space to run. My stop loss, I'm not going to decide that just yet. Just going to watch the momentum personally. Oh, what the fudge? My bad. Gotta frickin' fix that. All right, so the contracts are at 45 right now. We are 2 cents away from close to being to 10%. So that'd be great. Um, we probably will see a run up till right over here, right? And we'll see a little cool off. This is close to high of day. So we will keep an eye on this. But whoever suggested INTC, I don't know if you're suggesting calls, but if you did, good job for having an eye out for something good. Um, shop might be I don't usually have two positions at once for two different stocks. So do I ever make trades off of news? Sometimes, not all the times. I usually go off of technical analysis. Good lesson. Why we shouldn't full port on any trade. Absolutely. You should never full port on any trade. Let's say God forbid, you have a losing trade and you take only 10% of your, um, you only use 10% of your portfolio for a trade. You still have 90% of your portfolio left if God forbid it went to zero, which is worst case scenario, right? So, which you should obviously not let happen if you're a beginner into stock market. So, yeah. Don't tell me SPY is selling off now. Don't tell me SPY is selling off now. Yeah, I figured. And as I said, right, it's going to retrace and it's going to start back up again. This we could probably say is the beginning of a small impulse wave. But let's go back to INTC since that's what we are currently in. I'm not too worried about this one. I think my stop would be somewhere around the 50, if anything, right? So we'll see. SPY's coming down. Yeah, SPY's coming down, but it's not really a good sell-off to be getting into. May not be bullish. Tesla just puked. By the way, Tesla got its own ETF. It's to short it. It's like Tesla Q or something. I gotta figure it out. Impulse waves are nice to use to at least see where it's going. I would personally enter into Tesla puts if I wasn't already into a position. Of course, do your own due diligence. You can see here we're hesitating around the support right over here, right, which is near the close of day 2 days ago. So keep an eye on that. Can I look at Apple? Yeah, look at Apple since we're anyway waiting. I miss trading Apple. Apple's Apple's simple. Apple's very simple. It's crazy. I knew how Apple's gonna run, and I didn't freaking take calls when I had the perfect trigger point. So Apple's kind of similar, having similar movement compared to SPY, except had a bigger sell-off, which would have worked out in our favor for sure if SPY did that. But yeah, um, if we actually reject here, you can consider this if you want a double top or even a triple top, and that's really bearish. So if we reject here, right? If we reject, since we rejected up here, right? We reject here as well. you can expect Apple to be bearish, or you can trade according to that. Do your own due diligence. I am not a financial advisor. Kevin, did you identify the supply zone at INT previously, or do you have programmed it? No, I don't have a program for my supply and demand zones. They're all manually drawn. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is called Pinnacle Traders, make sure it's this one because there's another channel that's named similar to it. If you go to that, and if you go to the video named, why isn't that show? Oh, I go to videos. I'm so dumb. If you go to videos and if you go to the second video that I ever posted, it's called most profitable reversal strategy, right? Supply and demand zones. Watch that one. That goes over my process of how I draw zones out and stuff like that. CSGO. That's funny. I don't trade personally CSCO. I like sticking to stocks that I preferably be trade, you know? Nice. Any news behind it, or is it just regular market run up? Only full port GME. You guys know I get pretty pissed off when people full port. If you don't mind me asking, how much do you charge Discord servers for your alerts? Uh, Around $300 per month or higher. Depends on the server member count. Yeah, it really depends on the server. So it's like anything, right? You always need to price yourself based on the value you bring to a certain business or company, or in this case, Discord servers. And Discord servers are mostly businesses or companies, right? So if I know I bring a lot of value that I know a lot. I don't know if some of you guys have come onto this live for the first time, but I do not take losses that usually, right? Sorry. As you guys can see, I don't. I pride myself on being very consistent. Uh, so I know I bring a lot of value, so that's why I price high. So you always want to make sure you get the proper value for what you're giving out and what you bring to a business, right? Netflix calls or puts for ER. I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't trade ER, and I don't want to give out financial advice. But I've definitely heard that a lot of people, well, a few analysts are speculating that most of the people think Netflix is gonna gap down because of earnings due to they reported some like loss in members and stuff like that, which I'm not surprised of. There's multiple reasons why. You have to factor in the fact that there's amazing websites that are cheap now. Not even cheap, that are absolutely free. If you go to this website called Soap Today, you're gonna thank me for this. If you go to Soap Today, look at this. Look at all these things you could get for free. There's gonna be like ads, pop-up ads. That's not freaking avoidable. It's how these websites make money, but you could get it for free. On top of that, have you been looking at the content Netflix puts out? Like there's like a handful of shows I can confidently say, oh, they're maybe good. But the only thing I could say Netflix does nicely is their documentaries. That's it.
Hey, Bishop, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you have a sell on INTC?
INTC, I'm probably not gonna be concerned until we approach the 50 area, so around 39.50. That's when I'm gonna be concerned about exiting.
Thanks.
Yeah, answer that question. Do you use RSI divergence? No, I don't use that. I don't use lagging indicators. That's what those indicators are called because it's delayed data. So I don't use that. Josh uses RSI Provoke. He was on the other day, so you can ask him if you have questions about that. Yeah, what happened is a lot of people, not even trying to sound braggy. I've been on Discord for 6 years. A lot of current analysts, and I'm not going to name who, they would take one-on-ones from me. They would learn how to trade. and they would start freaking saying they're an analyst after just being consistently profitable after, I'm not even kidding you, a week or a month. And it's just like they're like, oh, I could be an analyst now, and they try getting hired in servers. They try cutting down rates like $30 to $50 a month. Server owners are like, oh yeah, sure, I'll hire you. They hire them, they lose members so much money, and then they quit alerting, and then that's how servers die. Yep, so that's ugly. People learn one technique. Yeah, it's crazy. People literally learn one technique and they think they could trade. Like seriously, if you wanna, you can start a Discord. I'm not saying you can't start a stock Discord. You can be there's a few stock Discord servers that are very profitable, and the owner doesn't know jack patootie about stocks, but they have analysts. They know how business runs, and they hire someone who knows stocks, and then they hire analysts. That makes sense. But if you're an analyst, if you're trying to say you're an analyst after just a few months of consistency, it has to be very good consistency and very good foundation on your trades for me to consider you an analyst. I'm not trying to be rude, but you can't just risk people money like that, right? So, yeah. No, I'm not too concerned about eating a third L. If you trade with emotion, you should definitely not trade. And a few of you guys are trading with emotion, right? I'm seeing this right now. I'm not gonna have any feeling towards it, right? I have my setup. If it hits my what I'm looking at for stop loss, then it hits my stop loss. You know, it's okay. Yesterday I had a good trading day. I know some of you guys did not have a good trading day, but losses are inevitable sometimes. We had a good setup. I'm not gonna say I don't have a good setup. I had a good setup here. We bounced off of a valid Fibonacci level. We did not even touch the 61.8, which is a very strong support. All right, so we didn't even touch that, which shows that the momentum to the upside is very strong. So if this movement does not trade out, then that's just the market being choppy. There's nothing I could do about it. I had a good setup. And whoever obviously talked about INTC, not gonna take credit away from that. Do you mind if I post a link of for Wyckoff method and the Elliott theory? It's on YouTube. The only reason why I'll say no is because a lot of YouTubes have links to Discords, and I know I sound hypocritical when I say that. So message me privately the YouTube link, and I will post it if I find it not satisfactory. If I find it, good, because I do have what 75 people listening right now, and a lot of people on YouTube, they're just retail investors, and they don't actually know a lot of stuff about Elliott waves and trading, and they make YouTube videos, and you know how that goes. So yeah, just privately message me that on Discord or on Zoom. I'd actually do it on Discord so I could check it out. And then if it's good enough, then I'll definitely post it on the live session server. If you guys aren't in it, it's free. Just right here. It's the live session server. On here I have sometimes I have educational lives. The next one I'm probably gonna do is I've actually been getting quite a lot of messages from people saying, how do I trade options? Which is a basic question. So I might as well record a video today on that. And then the one I'm gonna do next is gonna be the Elliott wave. And then after that is gonna be Fibonacci. And then after that it's gonna be I don't know if after that, if the third video should be a Q&A about supply and demand zones, because I'm having a lot more people on my follower base recently. So a lot of people don't know that much about supply and demand zones, even though I do have a video. It does answer most of the questions, but a lot of people like being hands-on. So I'll probably do a Q&A, on the server, and then we'll see how that goes. But you guys could join it. It doesn't promote any other servers, so most server owners are fine with it. If you obviously joined me on this trading session today, then that means that the server owners are well aware of it. But let's see. I'm gonna post a link for anyone who's not in it. You could join it if you'd like. It's up to you. But yeah, you guys type in the chat here. So what do you guys want to learn? Elliott wave is definitely something I'm doing. Fibonacci is definitely something I'm doing. Those are very two important things that I use day in and day out. Will I be doing this every day? No, I can't be doing this every day, unfortunately. But I do have other analysts come on most of the days during the week. So yeah, feel free to say which topics you guys want me to type out. I mean, not type out, record or go over in the future. As I said, this month is going to be my most active in terms of live trading and recordings. And then when it reaches August, early August, I'm going to cool off when it comes to it. Okay, so someone said, would love to learn extensively about supply and demand zones. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I need to make a third video. I have two parts right now. First part is just second video I ever posted. It basically talks about how to draw them and the rules about supply and demand zones. So if you guys don't know anything, seriously check that out. I recorded it. Most of these videos are me. Some of them I had other analysts do it, but these are obviously analysts that I believe in. But this one is recorded by me. This one talks about how to plot it and what are the rules that I've learned over this years, right, of using supply and demand zones. And this one talks about a few ways to trade supply and demand zones, but I think I'm going to make a third video on how to trade it. Discord won't accept invite. What do you mean? I've been trying to trade. I've been trying to trade for 1.5 years. So helpful for me would be concrete setups like playbook style. Yeah. Playbook. This is playbook right here. This is playbook right here. That's why Elliott Wave, that's why it pissed me off when that person on YouTube said that Elliott Wave is not valid. And it comes to show you that a lot of people on YouTube, just because they have YouTube channels, doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. Always, always be careful. But he said that Elliott waves are not valid. That is absolutely incorrect. Elliott waves just basically outline, and Elliott impulse waves outline a pattern, right? And basically it highlights a momentum pattern. And this is a as you said, a playbook style of trade, right? Basically what we're identifying. I'll go through my top process here, right? So what you want to identify always in the first hour or so, the first 30 minutes, 15 minutes, however much, you want to identify if it's going to be a trend market and if it's going to be a range market for the day. And what that means is a range. What did I say? Hold on. I think I screwed it up because I'm being stupid right now. What's it called? Why am I being so stupid? I literally talked about this. This is blanking from my mind. Hold on. I'm so stupid sometimes. I know my stuff, yet I just forget. Let's see. Where was it? Where was it? Support and resistance. No. Volume analysis. Was it volume analysis? No, it's not that. I don't think it was in support and resistance. By the way, a lot of you guys are surprised that I'm not so worried about INTC. This is how you should be trading. You should be trading without emotion. If you have emotion, you're doing it wrong. You're definitely doing it wrong. No, that's not it. Man, why can't I think of it? Where did I have it? Okay, I forgot the terminology, and I literally know the terminology. My brain is just messing up right now, and there's nothing I could do about it. But basically, there's a range day, which means that I'll just use this. The stock trades like a range, right? Trades like this, right? Between this resistance and support. And then the other term, it's literally escaping my mind, even though I know it. I promise you I know it because I held a live session where I talked about it and I don't remember which one. But it's just called a momentum day. You wanna figure out basically the the way you want to figure out the way the stock is moving, right? And we've identified that. We've identified that stock is moving in a upward movement. It's bullish, right? You could see here we created a high of the day. We retraced, but then using Fibonacci, we saw that we couldn't really breach past the 50 percentile, which is a support, right? And we started reversing into the upside. And then, right, let's say you even didn't enter according to that, right? You could see here that another indication is that the fact that we are creating higher lows into a resistance, which if you guys watched my support and resistance video, there you go. This is what happens. You create higher lows into a resistance. Often means that you're going to have a breakout into the upside. So that's why you trade without emotion and you trade according to setups. And this is a setup playbook trade, as Anthony was talking about. Right? It's not based on emotion. It's not based on, oh, I think stock's going to do this. No, it's based on technical analysis. Technical analysis, everything. Literally, if you nail down technical analysis, you do not need indicators. You can use indicators. They're helpful sometimes, but yeah. I'm not against indicators. I just personally don't use it. But my contracts finally trimmed at freaking 47. So that's basically 10% on the INTC trades. I told you, I don't usually have 3 losses in a row. Let's see, trimming INTC at 47. Most of you guys are like, oh, 10% is too small. If you think that, you're trading wrong, to be honest with you. I have a, hold on, let me freaking send this out. I talk too much. I really talk too much sometimes. Probably talking too much because I miss my wife. She's in freaking Morocco, visiting her family. I'm just lonely without her. We only get to talk like sometimes. She misses me too, but it's still sad. Not used to being this long without her. Neither is she. But anyway, back onto topic again. You can see I'm rambling on. So the way, first of all, the way I set my trims right out immediately after I enter the first trim, I usually put around 10% or less, debating on whether how confident I am of the momentum. Right. Sorry about the sirens in the background. So that's first of all set my all sell limit orders in the beginning. This means I have high probability of getting my selling limit orders filled, right? And then yeah, that basically answers that question. Yeah. Chat pattern recognition. Yeah, that's basically going to be Elliott waves and most of the what my videos are going to be talking about. It's not going to be really indicators. And if it is indicators, I'll make sure I properly explain it unlike all these freaking YouTube videos. Simple video on entering bracket orders in TOS. Yes, I absolutely have to do that because I believe you're the one who asked me, I believe yesterday or some other day, on how to do bracket orders on Thinkorswim, and they were very helpful. And I think Webull actually implemented that. What bracket orders are, basically they let you set a stop limit, a stop loss, and they let you enter into a trade as a limit order. They let you, okay, let me rephrase that. They let you, before entering a trade, they let you choose an entry price for the contract, a stop loss for a contract, and a sell limit order for a contract in profit. So once you enter, these are automatically going to be set, the stop loss and the take profit thing. So I definitely need to go over that. Let's add it explicitly. Seriously? That's weird. Elliott waves are what other people trade are. Okay, basically, yeah. I mean, Elliott waves are nothing special. It just is basically signifies a pattern. It's just basically saying that, you know, a stock is going to have a momentum in one way if it's not a range day, right? Then it's going to cool off, then it's going to start up again, and it's going to cool off. And usually the rule behind the Elliott wave is first wave is the deciding wave, right? Second wave is the cool off, is the corrective wave. The second impulse wave is going to be not the second, the third impulse wave is going to be the most profitable, right? This is wave 3. And then there's going to be a corrective wave again, right? And then the fourth wave is going to probably be the fifth wave, my bad, is going to be the last impulse wave. Yeah, it's going to be the last impulse wave. If you want to be safe, first you would want to identify that is creating, you know, these four waves, right? The first impulse, the third impulse, right? And then on the corrective fourth wave, you would enter into whatever direction you think the fifth wave is going to go in, which in this case would be calls, right? So that's a safe way to use Elliott waves. We use the little bit riskier but higher profit potential, which is finding the bottom of wave 2, right? And trying to enter in the starting of wave 3. And you could see it worked out. We reached 10% profits. I personally believe that no one should be exiting this trade as a red trade. But yeah. Wave and Fibonacci's usually hold weight, not 100% of the time, but a lot. Of course, nothing is 100% accurate. Always know that. People trading patterns and breakouts, yep, Elliott waves. So yeah, an Apple 3-minute chart with there be an ascending triangle. A second terminology, but let's see. Could you believe in 9 years I've not learned, I have not cared for terminology. And the reason is because I believe in simplicity. And I feel like if we complicate it for ourselves, we have so much in our mind that we're gonna end up just making wrong trades. But yeah, you could see usually the ways these work, right? If you break out of you could see you could either have this is the bottom trend line, absolutely right. You could either have the two trend lines here, upper trend lines. You could have the one that I plotted right here, or you can have this one right here, basically right over here, right? It's resistance. So if we broke above that, that would have been a good indication as well. But the way when this is slanted, right? Again, I really don't care for terminology because that does not really matter unless you're teaching people. But if you could show it, terminology does not matter. In my opinion, of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but usually the way these work, right? If it's a triangle like this, it will also work to downside, right? It's just vice versa. So usually we break above, and the way it would do sometimes, of course, sometimes it would just continue into the upside, but usually the way it would work is it will break out and then it would test, right? And it would test right here. Now, if it is bullish in this scenario, it'll bounce off and trade to the upside. Now, this would be the safest entry right here, right? You wait for a retest. Obviously, a retest is not bound to happen every single time, but it's possible. So you'd wait for that. The reason why you'd wait for that is because if you see it, because there's a possibility it could break back down below the lower trend line, and then you could enter into puts because then that's bearish. So that's how you trade that, right? Confirmation is everything. That's confirmation for you. Two different confirmations. One, you could wait for it to break above whatever. If you had a slanted trend line, right, you could wait for it to break above that. I personally would have entered right above the break of this, right? That's my personal entry point. So I would have personally entered here. This is a safer entry, obviously, lesser profits, but safer entry. And yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Trending, that's what it's called. Freaking trending market. Thank you, Fletch. That's what it's called, a trending market. And I use that terminology in my video. I can't believe I didn't freaking remember that. So it's called a trending market. So if we go back to INTC, right? So you could see here, right? This is called a trending market because it's trending upwards into one direction, right? So yeah, that's basically what it is, trending market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and within those, yeah. So there's always going to be smaller waves, right, within bigger waves. So you could see right here, here's one wave, right? You could say that, oh, this is one wave, right? But there's always going to be smaller waves within one big wave. That's why you just don't get freaked out between, corrections and stuff like that. That's why I'm not so certainly scared about this. If I find a bearish flag, then I'll exit. There's worry, trade should never be put on. Yes, always enter trades that you're confident about. Higher highs, lower highs, yeah. ATR. ATR, what does it stand for again? I suck at that. No, it's not called impulse. It's not called impulse market. I asked you a question via on Discord back in 20 Imagine Newsfeed overloaded. Sorry about that. Okay. The question was, by the way, before I answer that question, if anyone's really scared about INTC, I don't know if you want to ever exit, just locate the trend line and go according to that, right? You can see that there's a trend line here. Go according to that. What is support and resistance? The area where most people have their stops. If it is true, then one price. Okay. I don't necessarily want to answer this question, even though this is a very good question, because I have it, I have it answered in this video right here. It is, of course, 51 minutes, but it literally goes over how to trade it. I actually use, I used a slide for it that I created. Where is it? Oh, by the way, another important video I had that I had the slides for is this one, proper account growth. If you don't know how to properly grow your account, watch this one. That's how I grew my account to like a huge amount now. Close, not so close, but close to 9 figures. So I keep on clicking the wrong things. Let's see. Where's my why is everything everywhere? Here we go. All right, so I had a video right over here. It's 51 minutes. It goes over these points I talk over on this slide about support and resistance. Talks about the basics, how you should trade them, how I personally trade them, how to trade both breakouts and reversals, and how to trade ranges as well. So check that out because that actually answers a lot about what you're asking. And I'd rather you get an in-detailed answer. I swear I can't speak sometimes. Yeah, finally at 10%, right? Where do you think we could top out on SPY today? We're seeing a lot of resistance, if you can see here on, let me delete that. You can see here on the right side of my chart, you can see on the 1 hour, no, this is daily. You could see, actually switch to the 1 hour, 2 hour, my bad. No, actually, no, since it's not 2 hours. You could see that we're kind of projecting off of here. So if I see some good rejection on the 1 hour chart, I might see get into puts, but we'll have to see. If we break above, then you can see a run up to this supply zone right over here, which you can see the coordinates for 390.14 to 394.43. I'll give you guys a few seconds if you want to jot that down or chart it down. It's up to you. Let's see. So if you get a lower high, that means the stock is going to be moving up. It depends. So usually, right, I'm going to have an in-depth stuff about this, but there's sometimes when a stock is, let's say, wait, yeah. No, sorry, that's not what I meant to say. So there's sometimes where a stock trends to the downside, right? And it starts creating a formation where it creates higher lows, but it starts reversing like this, right? But this is actually similar to the Elliott wave, right? This is just a corrective wave. So it seems like it's, oh, it's going to reverse into upside, but it's not. Because if you look at the overall stock for the day, you see that it's trading, it's in a trending market, right? So it's not going to just reverse. So then actually in reality, it's just going to break down right back afterwards. Most of the times, of course, not all the times. Hopefully that answers your question. Due diligence is always important. Would WBA be good for puts? I don't trade WBA, but if it has a double top, then yes, usually it would be good entry for puts. And hey, if you enter puts and it ends up being bullish, right? At least you know where to set your stop, which is on top of the double top, depending on where you enter. Do I draw the Elliott waves yourself? No, you draw it yourself. No matter what, there's always going to be indicators for freaking supply zones and support and resistance and Elliott. I don't know about Elliott waves, but there's nothing better than just drawing stuff yourself, right? Because of course machines are great, but they're made for simplicity, and simplicity doesn't always offer accuracy. That's why there's indicators to do supply and demand zones. Are they always accurate? Heck no. In fact, they'll show you zones that are weak. So fees I paid for contracts, 10% profit takes me to break even. Okay, so if you have high commission, what you should avoid doing is trading small contracts. You should not trade anything below $1, in my opinion. Oh, you're in Canada, yeah. Man, a lot of people are from Canada. And like I know Europe, I believe got I think they got I believe they got Webull. And Webull, just to let you know, Webull's not commission free. It's just very cheap commissions. Know that. Don't be fooled. They have commissions all right. It's very just it's very cheap though, that's all. But yeah, that is unfortunate. Um let's see, there's if you have a big account, let's see, there Tastyworks is a good thing. Let's see, is it supporting Tastyworks Canada? Man, yeah. I believe if you're in Canada, you use interactive brokers, right? So definitely look to get into option contracts that are more expensive because then even if you reach 10%, there's a higher chance that the commissions are not going to take away from your profits. Oh, IWM. Oh my goodness. Thanks for reminding me that. I have not traded IWM in a long time and I love IWM. I absolutely love it. It is, I would say, one of the most friendliest ETFs for um small accounts. It follows similar to the QQQ and the and SPY, but it's not exactly the same. And you could see we're actually bullish on it, right? We broke above the upper trend line. It's pretty neat. Look at this. This is what trading without emotion is. I'm gonna say it over and over again. You guys need to get in your head. Stop panicking. If you panic, don't trade. It takes some time off until you realize if you lose money, if you're concerned about losing money, of course you should be concerned about losing money. But if you're concerned about using money, if you're trading in the market to make money that you don't have, then you shouldn't be trading in the market. You get what I mean? If you have, let's say, $1,000 and you're now and you don't have like $5,000 in your bank account, you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't be trading because then you're gonna be having the urges to be like, oh, I gotta make money, I gotta profit off this, and you're gonna start chasing trades, you're gonna start holding contracts. That that just puts you in a whirlpool. So for the support and resistance, let me check. I believe I posted it. Yeah, you could see right here. I posted it for the support and resistance. I realize I'm just talking very loud. I don't need to be talking loud. For the how to properly grow your account. No, I don't have on there. So let's actually share it there so you guys can check. All right. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be on charts, but I just wanted to post this since I didn't. There we go, in case anyone wants it. I miss trading SPX, I'll be honest with you. SPX, if you guys don't know, it's basically SPY, right? ES, S&P 500, but the contracts move way much more quicker. But SPY's been so volatile. Oh my goodness, yesterday if I got SPX puts, oof, 2,000%. 3,900, 3,913. Let's see. I have SPX on here. Where is it? Oh wait, hold on. Maybe Let me go back to INTC. Let me bring it up on here. If you want big momentums, if you want to see overview of the market, stop looking at the 1 minute and plotting out your trend lines there. Look at the bigger time frames. That's where you should always look. Sorry, my brother was talking to me. Yeah, you could see here, unlike IWM, we haven't broke above the upper trend line. Now, sorry, I'm eating boiled eggs for breakfast. I hope you guys can't hear it, but judging by IWM, right? You could say that there is a possibility for SPY SPX to break above this upper trend line. But keep in mind, there's a huge chance, as I said, when you break above a trend line, test, there could be a testing, right? Could be, could not be. So just keep that in mind. You have to factor in, I'm so sorry. I hope you guys can't hear me chewing, but you have to factor in supply and demand zones, right? So if we plot out the 1 hour supply zone right here, you can see there's one right here, right? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So you could see the bottom of the supply zone on SPX is at 3915. And so if you could see it probably rejecting if I'm not surprised if this is weak. So you could see it test the top of it. You can see it test the top of it and then reject downwards. Or it could just plain out breakthrough. I'm not surprised if it does. Yeah. Would you mind putting links for your YouTube videos you're suggesting to watch? Yeah, sure. One second. All right, I just posted them right now. The first one is the foreign resistance. Second one is proper account growth. Next one is gonna be the rules and how to draw out supply and demand zones. And then actually this video is very important. This one here actually talks about my thought process through trades. So watch those, but every video on here is valid. I can tell you that. But just give me a second. All right, sorry about that. Let me go back. Meta could be interesting on retest of 172. Why do SPX contracts move faster? Because it's obviously, look at the price compared to SPY, right? SPY would be like what, 386, right? What's SPY at? It's at 388 right now, right? So it's more expensive. I don't know the whole technicals behind it, but yeah. But as you can see, we stuck to our trade plan. Look how it went. Again, telling you guys, don't trade with emotion. Can you guys hear me fine? I'm getting so thirsty talking loud, so okay. All right, just want to make sure. That sounds good. Oh, all right. So if we actually look at it overall, right? You can see here that we are breaking above. Now, probably what's going to happen is this third wave, right? It's going to end when we see a corrective wave into this upper trend line to test it. But of course, as I say that, INTC just wants to be a little shaky. Yeah. So Josh is saying SPY is reaching a supply zone. Can you show us? Yeah, it's basically this supply zone here. But I guess if you want to see it on SPY, if you guys don't know Josh, his name is Provoke. He's been on a few live trading sessions with us. He's pretty good. He learned from me. He's above average analyst. So is Pastor Prince, if you guys know him as well. Right, contracts are back at 10% profit. If anyone didn't scale out the first time, if you would like to scale out, you can do so. It's here, right? Right here, you could see the supply zone that Josh is talking about, or at least the one that I have. I don't know if it's the same one. Usually he confirms with me which supply zones I have, or he probably plots his own now, which is pretty nice. But yeah, the supply zone, as you can see here, I have it at the bottom of the supply zone starting at 390.14 to 394.43. And you could see that it was created over here, right? Again, excuse me. You watch my videos on how to draw them out. Not gonna really explain that here since that takes time. You could see it was created over here. You could see we rejected it twice, 3 times actually. You could see that we rejected it here, we rejected it right over here. But you could see actually that we gapped up pretty high. We reached pretty high. So that means that this zone is actually getting a little bit weaker. So yeah. Our contracts are finally up to 50. Right? It's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure I sent out saying where I was trimming at. But yeah. Nothing we could do about those first 2 losses. Should have waited. That's my mistake on it. Been trained for 9 years. Yeah, I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Always identify your mistakes so you can make sure to not repeat it. I'll be honest with you guys, okay? So I got yesterday's profits to take advantage of me and make me want to reach those potential kind of profits again. Because my judgment was clouded based off of yesterday's bearishness. Even though I'm not saying my technical analysis based on SPY being bearish was incorrect. No, had a good possibility as well. What I'm saying was my entry point was very invalid. Not very invalid, but it was invalid. Oh, really? You profited off of that? Congrats. That's nice. You guys, as you can see here, small waves inside a big wave, right? So that works. I feel like I'm having too many drawings on here. I don't like having too many drawings. Think we could remove the FIP for now. Yeah, I made, I'm definitely in the 8 figures. That's what I could say. 9 years ago, I started from $300 and people are like, oh, that's so crazy. You're lying. You can't reach that high. It's not true. If you actually go to, if you watch that video that I posted on proper account growth, by the way, we're probably going to get my option filled at 52 here, which is close to 20%, I believe. If you could get the proper, there we go. Got it filled at 52. So let me just put that out. One second. Let me go on. I'll go back to what I was saying. Perks of setting your sell limit orders in advance. You have such a higher chance of getting filled. So I started trading 9 years ago, became 9 years ago around March. Started with $300, and it's just proper account growth. That's what got me to the stage I am. If you go to this website called I have it on the I have it in the live session server if you're interested, if you're in that. But if you guys cannot find links to the live session Discord, just go on Discord, go to my actual profile, make sure it's my actual profile, right? Again, my profile is money sign space the market bishop hashtag 88888, so 4 8s afterwards, as you guys probably know, right? That's how Discord works. But if you go to daily compound, right? If you go to 300, let's say I were to make 1% trading each day on an average, right? That means my portfolio grows on an average each day, every trading day, and there's 252 trading days in a year. So if we go to, I bring up my calculator. Where's my calculator? 252 times 9, because there's 252 trading days in a year. Okay, I'm too lazy to copy it. 2268, right? Include weekends? Absolutely not, of course. Let's just say even you did 50% daily reinvest, and let's say you only put in $20 each month. Look how far you could reach. That's also, then what daily reinvest rate means is that you take out your profits once you from the previous day, which obviously I'm not doing, right? I never did that. I've kept my money in my trading account ever since I started it. I've only made a very few withdrawals, and that itself not that big. So you could see how far just taking consistent gains, not going for high portfolio growths on the daily, hey, look how far I could reach you now. Look how insane the number gets. If I put 100%. That's in the billions. Right? Obviously, I didn't reach there. So that means that obviously I started trading when I was 12, 21 now. So I didn't trade every day at school, vacations and all that stuff, right? So obviously that brought my interest rate down. So I think it was like, I did the math about it. I think it was close to like 0.6 or something, or a little bit above that, I guess. No, really? No. Okay, so it's somewhere between 0.7, 0.8. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's called being patient and knowing that growth matters more than making money. If you look to trade to grow your account, you grow your account. If you don't, if you're just looking to make money, you're not gonna get there. Zuko, could you stop? Sorry. Why do you still day trade? If I had that, I'll just be safe with the well, the thing is, there's a lot of factors in it. There's a lot of personal situations why I can't do that. There's also a lot of personal beliefs. Um, no matter what, no matter which country you go in, the most powerful currency is always going to be knowledge. So I definitely want to have a knowledge behind my trade, and not behind my trading. I want to have knowledge, right? That's why I still go to college and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, there's a lot of other reasons that I don't want to get into as much, but I do definitely have my reasons for continuing college and having, of course, one of the biggest reasons you should always have multiple sources of income. You should never limit yourself to one. If I have, so what if I'm good at trading? You have no idea when the market could just absolutely go against me. And I don't think it would ever ruin my portfolio because I have proper risk management, but it could ruin a whole week of trading, right? So you always want to have multiple sources of income. Discord is a source of income for me. My other businesses are a source of income for me. My own Discord, my analyst service, me going to college and eventually becoming, a doctor or a hospital CEO, whichever I choose, a radiologist or a hospital CEO. It's another source of income. But it is 11:05 a.m. Eastern. I just realized that, so momentum's gonna die down, and I'm gonna get off the live momentarily. Um, If you guys have questions, if I find a few questions, feel free to ask them right now. But I'll be getting off the live in just a few minutes. The contracts for the contracts for INTC are up to 55 right now from an entry of 45. So it's 44, my bad. Right, I believe that's where we entered 56 now. So they're up more than 20%, I believe. Yeah, they're up more than 20%. So the first question was, I always feel like I need to use all my settled funds for the day, even if I'm up a lot. Absolutely not. If you have $1,000 in your trading account, you did not have to use $1,000 of your trading account each day. You do not need to. If you do that, you will be chasing trades. I definitely do not. I'll be honest with you. I have a big account, so yes, I have the luxury. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have the luxury of not trading my full account. I can literally trade 2% of my portfolio per day, and I'm fine. Not obviously it's gonna be difficult for you guys. So even if you trade 10 or 20%, one or two trades of a day is absolutely fine. There's even days where if you cannot find a setup, right? I obviously profit off of you guys being an analyst and you guys depending on my trades, or not depending on my trades, but looking at my trade ideas. But eventually, what I would want you guys to do is becoming individual traders. And you just have to realize, if you don't find what you're looking for, if you don't see it, right, don't enter it, don't even trade. The biggest, you could see, I made a mistake today in the beginning, right? I had my TA, but I did not see exactly what I wanted to see. And I entered, and look what I ended up with. I ended up with a loss. So make sure you stop yourself from doing that, because even after 9 years, I still do it. By the way, I'm probably going to get filled here for 59 on the INTC calls. Should be nice. So yeah, there's your advice for you. Don't overtrade. That's basically overtrading, trying to use up all your funds. Do I live trade every day? No, I do not. By the way, hold on. So alert, I got filled for 59. I need to update my log. 2 losses and the 1 win. All right. So do I live trade every day? No, I do not personally live trade every day. I have stuff going on. But I try to have an analyst or people I believe in. There's 2 of them. There's 3 of them actually. There's Provoke, there's Pastor Prince, and there's Neocentric, who's named Hayden. Provoke is named Josh, and Pastor Prince is named Will. I personally get them to live trade, usually in my server or sometimes in the live session server, but I do not guarantee every day. No, I can't guarantee that, unfortunately. And then in August, I'm gonna start to like not live trade at all. I'll have either analysts do it, or yeah, I'm gonna have analysts be doing it. Do you take weekly contracts? Yes, if I day trade, I usually take weekly contracts. Unless I swing, then I take 2 to 3 weeks out. But I think that's gonna be all for now. This has been going on since 9:30, so it's almost been an hour and a half now. I'm gonna be getting off. I hope you guys find value in what I put out in the lives. I do not look at the Greeks unless I'm swinging. And when I swing, the only Greeks I look at is delta and theta. That's all I look at. But yeah, hopefully, I know I talked a lot today. I know most people like that. I don't know if some people don't. But tell me if this helps out. If it does help out, at least the time I have till early August, I'll continue doing these. But yeah, usually so far it's have positive feedback. But if you guys have criticism, please let me know. I always value criticism. I can't grow without it. I criticize myself. So, all right. See you guys. Again, I'm gonna start talking so much. See you guys. I'll post a recording for today's live trading later on today. If you guys want to go over any information, because there's a lot of information in this. All right. See you guys. Have a nice one. Will I do it again tomorrow? I'll probably have someone on tomorrow. I'll see. I'm not certain. I can't promise until tomorrow itself. All right, guys. See you.